Hey everyone, Will Parker here, back with another Freestyle Friday. Before we get started, if you could please subscribe to my channel, that would be a huge help if you haven't done that already. This week's suggestions are skunks as pests, the sun, a malevolent sky beast, zucchinis getting bitter and bitter, a soup ladle, mailbox gnomes, toy dinosaurs, turtles dancing on rainbows, chickadee, waterfall, mulch, air, plants, derecho, Las Vegas in the 1940s. And also, one of the suggestions does a little bit of the work for me, because the suggestion is the following lines. When I sing a silly improv song, I go to a mystical place where nothing goes wrong, picking flowers that smell so sweet, almost as good enough to eat. And those are the suggestions. Here we go. It was a regular Saturday afternoon. I was expecting a postcard soon from my buddy. He's a skunk, he's kind of a pest, but he recently became a monk. So I was hoping Brother Skunk would send me a card, although he's a skunk, so writing is kind of hard. But anyways, I decided maybe he sent one to my home. So I checked the mailbox, but all that was in there was a bunch of gnomes. And I said, mailbox gnomes, what are you doing here? And the mailbox gnome said, don't you realize, isn't it obvious, Will Parker, it's actually quite clear we're hiding from the sun. Why do you have to hide from the sun? Because it's a malevolent sky beast, it isn't fun. Really? Why do you say that? Because it wants to sunburn everyone. Oh, that's actually a good point. It is summertime. I did get a sunburn yesterday. Maybe I should hide from the sun too. Is there room for me in that mailbox, gnomes? Yes, there is, because we have magic shrinking powers. Wow, cool. So they shrunk me down to the size of a flower. And I started hanging out in a mailbox with the gnomes. And I said, hey guys, what do you do for fun? And they said, well, pretty much everyone likes to play with our toy dinos. They're pretty sweet dinosaurs. Everybody knows that if you're playing with toy dinosaurs on a dashboard, well, I think that you've heard that song before. Back in 2010, I was playing that song with all of my friends. I wrote it back in college. That was a reference, you see. Thanks, Thomas Deckard, for that shout out. You gotta be one of the fans making the comments in the comments. It's pretty sweet. Oh man, I think I was on it, but now I forgot exactly what I was singing about. That's okay, because it happens, no doubt. So let's get back to me in this mailbox full of gnomes. They offered me chips and Clint's Texas salsa. Really delicious snack. And then we spent a few hours playing Jenga. And I said to the gnomes, this is pretty fun, but I think eventually I'm gonna have to go out and see the sun with everyone. I'm not sure if staying inside's that fun, and maybe I want to take the risk. I can maybe put some sunscreen on my wrists and on my hands and on my face and nose, because I don't want the sun to burn those. And the gnome said, you know what, you're right. Maybe we should venture out of this mailbox into the great unknown, pun intended. So the gnomes and I set off on a quest. We had to defeat the sun. We were gonna try our best. And I said to the gnomes, I sang to them this special little lyric, and they all became my friends. I said, when I sing a silly improv song, I go to a mystical place where nothing goes wrong. And picking flowers that smell so sweet, almost good enough to eat. And the gnome said, speaking of eating, I'm hungry. I could use some zucchinis in my tummy. And I I said, hey, no, I know just the spot. Maybe we should, hope you don't get caught, but there's a farmer down the way and his zucchinis get bigger and bigger. I'd say that we should go grab some of those, you know, and put them in a zucchini soup. So perhaps it'd be delicious and maybe nutritious, and maybe we can ladle it out with the soup ladle. Maybe that's too ambitious, I don't know. But finally the gnomes and I stole the zucchinis and made a wonderful soup. And then we decided that since we had been cooped up in that mailbox, we really needed to get out of this world. So we found a rocket, and pretty soon we were hurled into the stratosphere, where we saw turtles dancing. It's true. They were dancing on rainbows with chickadees. There's a waterfall going through it. And in the air I could tell this was pretty special. Kinda felt like Las Vegas in the 1940s. Well, this had been a pretty big adventure, and I think, well, I should venture to tell you that now my iPad screen that had the list of things went blank, and now I have to take a time out because I want to remember all the topics. You think I could remember them all, but there are just so many that I can't. Okay, intermission, where are we going, All right, so after dancing on the rainbow, unfortunately we got hit with a derecho. We were swirling and we got pretty lost in the high winds, and we landed in a pile of moss and mulch and unrecognizable plants. And I said, hey gnomes, I kind of wish I knew where I was at. But then suddenly I looked up from the pile of moss and I saw, could that be my skunk friend's boss? Yes, it was the abbot of the monastery. And I was like, oh boy, I hope my skunk monk friend is here. And sure enough, he was. And sure, he smelled a little bit, but we brought him some soup, and we had some really good zucchini soup with the skunk monk and the other monks who weren't skunks but seemed accepting of the skunk. And we all wore sunscreen when we did gardening later, because we know the sun's a malevolent sky beast. I'm pretty sure those are all of the topics. Yeah, I think I said all of them. Thank you so much. If you like what you heard, leave a comment in the video and maybe give a suggestion for what I should sing about next week. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Thanks for listening.